Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Hampton, Georgia, Atlanta Motor Speedway, the site for this afternoon's LSI Litchfield Specialty ARCA Series event here down in Georgia. Atlanta Motor Speedway, just over 1.5 miles, 1.54 to be exact, 24-degree banking quad oval, just 20 miles south of Atlanta, Georgia. First race was held here back in 1960, won by Fireball Roberts. We move forward to today. This is really the old configuration, the old, new old configuration. The current layout at Atlanta Motor Speedway, freshly paved, banking has been changed, reconfiguration complete. Next-gen NASCAR Cup cars testing here last week or so. Maybe we'll see a rescan in the future from iRacing. 1992, we saw the first race for Jeff Gordon, the final race for Richard Petty. But tonight, we've got the LSI Litchfield Specialty ARCA Series in store for you all tonight. Who's going to bring it home? Will Mark Thomas prevail? Maybe Mike LaJoie once again. Mike fresh off a win in the Truck Series. Or Dustin Painter. Maybe Billy Milner in the 55. A late addition here to the series. All you can do now, sit back, relax, watch the race and find out. Practice just about wrapped up here, maybe 3 minutes to go before we call it a session. .55 of Billy Milner, again a newcomer to the series, running a GM Goodwrench Bass Pro Shops paint scheme on that number 55. Milner will be running a Holler Boys Racing TV paint scheme in the coming races. A lot of throwback paint schemes in this ARCA series. Really cool to see. Looks real sharp on these ARCA cars. It's a Bobby Allison paint scheme there. Dustin Painter is going to try and confuse me. He's supposed to be the 65, but he's running the 00. I think that's a Buckshot Jones paint scheme, maybe a Casey Kane. I could be completely wrong on the Casey Kane part, but I don't know why it comes to mind. Buckshot Jones for sure with the 00. So tonight, when I say the 65 of Dustin Painter and you see a 00 on the screen, there you have it. Vincent Short taking to the racetrack is number 15. I think it's a Buck Baker paint job, Buddy or Buck, I forget which one. I think it might be a Buck Baker. He's told me a million times, I already forget. Practice just about complete here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Top time, Mark Thomas, 31.69. Painter in the second spot, just a half a tenth back. Aaron Conover, half a tenth back. Jackson, half a tenth back. Real close times up near the front of the field. Top five separated by less than a tenth of a second. see who hits the track first here in qualifying. I believe it's a 10-minute session. Be wrapped up sooner than that, I'm sure. It's like Jamie Kerr, the number 75, will roll out first. Kind of looking closely here. This looks almost like a Interstate Batteries throwback to maybe Dale Jarrett back in the day. Jarrett or maybe a Bobby Labonte. At least the color scheme is right. Jamie Kerr out of Snow Camp, North Carolina, the number 75. Little wiggle off turn 2 at the end of first lap in qualifying here. It's not going to help, but he will have another chance to take another lap. I haven't run any laps here in this car, at least not in quite a while. I'm not sure if the first or second lap is quicker. Another wiggle out of the 75 off turn 4. Through the dog leg. Let's see where Kerr checks in on the board. 32.29. Hard to say where we're going to land on that. Second lap going around now. See, Vincent Short's first lap was almost a 32 flat. Good enough for third fast on the board. Murphy Jr., Dan Murphy Jr., top of the board. Bill Voracek second. As soon as I say that, Ronald Piles takes the top spot. A lot of these guys rolled out at the same time. We're going to miss some. That's just how it goes. Been short off turn number 4, across the dog leg at the line. Lap number 2 for Vincent Short. It is good enough for 7th quicker though, 31.894. Billy Milner out there in the number 55 machine. Milner's first lap, a 31.96. Pretty good lap for a first time around. Let's see if he can pick it up. Oh, out of the throttle, loose off turn 2. It's not going to happen. Right now, Milner sits 10th on the board. Go to Brian Rupert, number 3 out of Trenton, Ohio. Lap 2 with 31.968. That's 14th quick. Matty Newborn, number 47, rolling out of the pits down the back straightaway on his out lap. Lost it for a second there. So far, top 5, Painter, Thomas, LaJoy, Jackson, Voracek. .47 crosses the line first lap for Matty at 32.71. Not a great first lap. Go to Shane Wagner, his first lap just about complete as he works through turn number 4. Lap 1 for Shane Wagner at 31.952. Another wiggle off turn number 2 for Wagner. It seems to be a commonplace. Real light in the rear end. Oh, and he does make contact with the wall. That's going to do it for lap 2 for Shane Wagner. Let's go to Mike Taschereau off turn number 4 as well to complete lap 1 of his qualifying attempt. Taschereau, lap 1, 31.979, good enough for 17th. Let's see if he can pick it up lap 2. Slides up to banking. Keeps his foot in it. Not sure if he got a little high in the banking there a little too early or not. We're going to see here down the backstretch into turn number 3. These ARCA cars are going to be a handful here at Atlanta. They're going to chew up some tires for starters, but a little light in the rear end, real loose handling, at least in the early laps. Lap 2 for Taschereau at 32.18. That's going to put him 17th. Ben Choate rolling out of the pits as well. 21 Motorcraft entry. That's a good-looking paint job. Looks like we're going to have a 25-car field here this afternoon. Nice and strong. First lap for Ben Choate, 31.814. Good first lap for the 21. That puts him 7th quick. Mark Thomas, 2nd quick on the board right now. 1/100th of a second off top time, but crossing the line now, the 21 Ben Choate, lap number 2 at 31.73. He does improve, puts him inside the top 5. That's 4th quick for the 21 of Ben Choate. So Brian Torch off the corner into the dog leg here, crosses the line for lap 1, I believe. Yep, 32.021 for the 2 machine. That's 19th quick, kind of a throwaway lap, I can assume. Brian Torch crosses the line, 31.933, 14th quick is where he will check in. There is one more car on the grid that could take a time. That's Kevin Newborn. I don't know if he's going to hit the track or not. As it is, the worst Brian Torch can start here is 15th. If he does go out, that's Kevin Newborn. If he does take a lap and does improve or beat the time of the 2. But that's really going to wrap it up here for qualifying. Unofficially right now, Dustin Painter, the 65 listed entry, which is actually the 00 Aqua Fresh paint scheme. He is on the provisional pole here. There's only one car left that could try and knock him off, but with a minute and a half left in the session, don't see that happening. We're going to step aside here, take a very short break. We'll be back with your starting grid. Welcome back to Hampton, Georgia, the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Litchfield Specialty ARCA Series event here this afternoon. Our starting grid for tonight's event, Dustin Painter, the number 65, will start from pole position to his outside, fresh out of the United Kingdom, the 50 of Mark Thomas. Starting in row 2, Mike LaJoy, the 29, he will start third. Ben Choate, the 21, will start fourth. Row 3, Mark Jackson with Bill Voracek in the 9 to his outside. Row 4 is Ronald Piles and Cody McKnight. Row 5, Dan Murphy Jr. in the 41 and Dale Legan in the 05. Starting 11th is Vincent Short with Holler Boys Racing. On his outside is the 20 of Aaron Conover. Second, LaJoy looking for third on the inside of the 21. 21 goes high, LaJoy goes low. LaJoy wants the spot from Mark Thomas, maybe a second place, maybe. Golf turn 4, nope, he's actually going to lose third again. 21 of Choate working his way back to the outside. Dustin Painter leads lap number 1. Lap 2, though, Mark Thomas looking to the high side, wants to take the lead. Maybe some momentum to be had off turn number 2. 21 of Choate working the really high side. Oh, a little wiggle from both cars. Mark Thomas and Choate off turn number 2. And we got trouble off the corner. Turn number 2, we got a car in the wall. Not sure who that was, but big impact. I'm gonna have to try and go back and see who that could have been. I don't know who it was. It's like the 8, Pete Woodrum. Oh, Billy Milner gets crossed up off turn 2, catches the right rear of the 8, and Pete Woodrum is just gone. Look at that one more time here. We'll slow it down. Yeah, the 55 of Milner up in the fence, mid-corner on exit, tries to gather it up as the 8's coming up to banking and clips the right rear. Not intentional by any means, just trying to save the car was the 55, but around they go. At least the 8 of Woodrum, tough hit for the 8 early on here at Atlanta. Thank goodness for safer barriers. What an impact by the 8, right into the outside wall, right where the safer barrier kind of comes to an end. So a little bit of padding, so to speak, on that impact, but not a whole lot, just given where it was. Well, as we always do, we like to interact with the viewers in the stream chat, whether it's on the YouTube side or Facebook. Unfortunately, right now with Facebook having a little bit of an issue, but I can at least view and respond to you guys on a separate screen, so to speak. But you want to say hello, ask some questions. Who do you want to ask about? If, hey, I haven't seen my driver, where's he running, whoever it may be, say hello. Check us in here. Tell us where you're watching from. I've had guys as far away as Australia check in and say hi, or as close as, well, an hour and a half from where I live. So who knows? Please interact in the stream chat, especially if we get some cautions here. I like chit-chatting with you guys and just kind of getting my ear to the road and hear what's going on with you guys out in the broadcast land. We see Billy Milner involved in that last caution. Got into the outside wall, tried to save it, and ended up making contact with the 8 of Pete Woodrum. Looks like Billy may have burned a fast repair. That car looks pretty clean considering everything. Pete Woodrum, though, still, no, he's back on the track. No fast repair for the 8. That car's still a little worse for wear, but still in the hunt. It's early on here. Maybe we can get this thing fixed, get a couple of cautions here, get Woodrum back on the lead lap. He might still be on the lead lap. have to keep a close eye on it. Up front, though, field forming up 2 by 2. The official iRacing pace car lights are off. We'll see him peel off the track now. Restart on the Painter machine, coming to life through the dog leg. Double zero aqua fresh machine back in the throttle. We're back underway here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Dustin Painter, since the restart here, off to a pretty good advantage. Half a second back to the 21 of Ben Choate. Ben Choate up 2 spots since the beginning of the race. He runs second. Mark Thomas down 1. Mike LaJoie down 1. And Mark Jackson, your top 5, just happily running where he started. Field works off turn number 4, across the start-finish line into the dog leg. Vincent Short a little loose off turn 4 in that high side. Now number 15, that blue and white machine, just up in front of Cody McKnight, the 111. Right on board with the 15 of Vincent Short, looking back towards the 111 machine. Cody McKnight trying to take the 7th spot away from the 15. Vincent is up 4 spots since the start of the race. Cody just kind of hanging there in 8th. Vince not able to pull away from the 111 though. Looks like Cody's going to try and put on the pressure here and take that spot back. Keeps ducking the nose down low, getting him in the mirror. Back out front, Dustin Painter looking very strong. Full second back to the 50 of Mark Thomas. Then you have 21 of Ben Choate, the 29 of LaJoie. They get real close off turn 2. LaJoie really tries to turn it left, keep off the door of the 21. Ben Choate hits the wall in entry of 3 though. Around they're going to go. 21 hard impact by Bill Voracek, the 29 of LaJoie, the 26 of Wagner, the 111. Maybe Vincent Short got into the fence. Big chain reaction crash here, lap 12 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Saw the 29 of LaJoie almost make contact with the 21 off 2, but looks like the 21 of Choate got into the outside safer barrier. Entry to turn 3, ended up making contact with Mike LaJoie. Let's go back, take a look. A little late in the replay here. Let's back it up. Ben Choate, the 21 to the outside. You've got LaJoie down low in that blue Pepsi car. Yeah, the 21 gets in the wall and then tries to take that hard left just to get it to turn off the wall. Unfortunately, he's got a car to his inside, makes contact with the 29, sends both cars around. Yeah, it looks like McKnight and Vincent Short get collected in it. Then the 29 gets nailed again by the 26 of Shane Wagner. 29 of LaJoie was the proverbial pinball in that equation. Brian Torsha in the 2 gets by down low. Tough break for a bunch of drivers here. Lap 12, now 13. See the 21 of Ben Schott on pit lane, getting repairs done. Tough break for Ben. Ben looked real strong, was fast. Well, back out front, it's still Painter, Thomas, now Mark Jackson, Dan Murphy Jr., Bill Voracek in your top 5. Lights already turned off on the pace car. We're going to get a restart here with 15 laps to go. Sorry, 15 laps in. We got way more than 15 to go. Have another cocktail, Steve. Watch the restart here from the onboard camera. Dan Murphy Jr., the 41 machine. Pace car hits pit lane. We're already in the throttle. Green flag waving. Real loose out of the 50 of Mark Thomas. Spinning the tires a little bit on acceleration. '22 of Mark Jackson takes the 3rd position to the inside. Goes around Dan Murphy Jr. Murphy Jr. running the number 41 Camel GT entry. I say Camel GT, it's always in my head. I grew up around Watkins Glen, so Camel GT is always in my brain, but that looks like an old Jimmy Spencer paint job. Zippo on the side. Still out front, though, Dustin Painter is your leader, but not by a whole lot. Under pressure by the 50 of Mark Thomas. Riding on board with Dustin Painter, looking back to the 50 of Mark Thomas. They're working to turn number 3. Mark's still there. 0.3 of a second gap back to that 2nd position, but Mark was just right up in that back bumper just a lap and a half ago. Mark Thomas trying to change lines, see where he can pick up some time, gain some advantage here on the 65 of Painter or the 00 as you see it on your screen. Now we ride on board with the 50 of Mark Thomas, second place running machine in behind Dustin Painter, trying to track down the 00/ the 65. It's less than a tenth, it's half a car length. Both vehicles running completely different lines. Painter going down low, Mark Thomas up high, trying to keep that aero push out of the equation. Gets a good run off turn number 2, down the back straightaway, gonna make a pass for the lead into turn number 3. Side by side through the corner. Mark Thomas wants it. Dustin Painter trying to defend on the outside. The 00 Aqua Fresh colors. Down low, it's the Kodiak machine of Mark Thomas at the line. Looks like Mark's going to lead that lap officially. Looking in through turn 1, middle of 2. Oh, there's paint's refreshing again. While that battle continues, though, Mark Jackson, the 22, has caught our leaders. Doesn't take a whole lot. All of a sudden, those two start battling, and now Mark Jackson right there in behind Dustin Painter, maybe 2 car lengths, if that, behind. Mark Thomas still running that high side, trying to use that momentum that he can carry down the backstretch. It's a great way to defend. Even if Painter gets the preferred line into 1 and 2, the 50, as long as the 00 can't clear him, can carry that momentum down the backstretch and kind of use that additional speed to defend the position. Meanwhile, he's got about 4/10 of an advantage over Dustin Painter in the second spot. Dustin Painter's got company in the form of the 22, Mark Jackson. Off turn number 2, Mark Jackson taking a look to the inside. Dustin Painter wants the second spot into 3. Going to take it handily here. It looks like he will have the 00 clear. He does. Move Mark Jackson up to P2. Tires super important around the Atlanta Motor Speedway. We see these top 8 drivers, top 10 drivers really, have yet to see pit road at all in this race. We're almost to halfway. Tires are certainly going to start to fall off, and I mean fall off as far as lap time is concerned. Best lap time for our leader, Mark Thomas, was a 31.86. His last lap, a 33.05. Conversely, Mark Jackson, the second place running machine, he's a 33.06. So running pretty comparable lap times to the leader right now, but again, old tires showing their faces almost to halfway here in Atlanta. Taking a quick look at the stream chat. Bobby Peters checking in saying, hey, how's it going? I don't know how long that's been there, probably a little while. My apologies, Bobby, for missing it. Thanks for checking in and saying hello. Really appreciate that. We still watch this battle here for the second position. The 22 of Mark Jackson got around Dustin Painter relatively with ease, but Painter now looking to the inside, wants to take that second spot back. They work off turn number 2. Jackson able to defend. It's about a 2-car length advantage over the 00 of Dustin Painter. Dustin Painter now quite a few car lengths back in behind the 22 of Mark Jackson. Gave it a shot to try and get around. Sure, he overheated those tires more than he wanted to do so, but now he's got Ronald Piles, the 68 machine, in his mirror, trying to gain some ground, maybe put Piles up to the 3rd position. Meanwhile, Mike Taschereau is up to the 5th spot. 68 of Piles really putting the pressure on Dustin Painter here. Painter in the third spot. Piles wants to take it away. He's right there in the back bumper of the 00 Aqua Fresh machine, and they work into turn number 3. Half distance here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Mark Thomas still your leader, a full second advantage over the second place running Mark Jackson. Full second, I stand corrected, maybe a tenth and a half. Mark Jackson right on the back bumper of our leader, Mark Thomas. They work into turn number 3, lap 31 of 60 goes up on the board. 22 Mark Jackson looking awfully strong here on old tires late in the going, at least halfway, just past halfway. At the line, it's still Mark Thomas with the lead. But for how long, the 22 has managed to slowly inch his way up towards the front, and now in behind the leader, Mark Thomas. He's got a nose underneath off turn number 2. He's going to try and make the move here, possibly into turn number 3. I imagine Thomas will take the high side, try to work the momentum through the dog leg, but the 22 is right there, side by side now into turn number 4. 22 on Mark Thomas. Off the corner, in through the dog leg. Not sure who's going to lead that one. It might have been the 22, but the battle continues up for the lead. Into turn 1, now into turn number 2. The 22 down low has the position, doesn't have the 50 clear. Can he clear him? He does off turn number 2. New leader, the 22 machine, Mark Thomas. Very patriotic paint scheme on that number 22. Who can argue with that? I'm sure somebody will, but not us here at Holler Boys Racing TV. We certainly like the patriotic paint schemes and all that stands for freedom. That is for sure. Clear sailing out in front of the 22 of Mark Jackson. He continues to lead here, lap 34. Let's try and take a trip through the field here, see where everybody is running. Again, of course, Mark Jackson, your new leader, just took over that position. Mark started, I believe, in the 5th position here this afternoon, has just recently taken over the top spot from Mark Thomas. Mark Thomas in the 50, that Kodiak colored machine. I think it's an old Rusty Wallace paint scheme from the late 80s, early 90s possibly. Mark started in the 2nd spot. Mark runs in the 2nd spot. So far a good outing, good afternoon for the 50. Ronald Piles has made his way up into the 3rd position, gotten around the 00 of Dustin Painter. Another patriotic appearing paint scheme on that number 68. Dustin Painter again started on pole position here this afternoon, led a good majority of the first half of this race. Just relatively recently lost that lead to Mark Thomas and has since slid back to the 4th position, to which he gave that up to Ronald Piles. In the 5th spot, Dan Murphy Jr., the number 41, that Zippo Camel paint job. It looks like an old Jimmy Spencer paint, I believe. He runs in the 5th position. Vincent Short, after some early race struggles, was involved in an incident relatively early on. Running in the 6th position right now. That Royal Crown paint scheme, I believe that's a Buck Baker paint job that he threw on there. See a bunch of grandstands in the meantime, but let's just get through turn 1. We'll find out what it looks like in just a moment. And there you have it, Vincent Short in that Royal Crown. We'll go with the tower cam. We can't lose him there. Mike Taschereau, the number 33, he runs in the 7th spot. Started 19th this afternoon, quietly working his way up through the field here at Atlanta, trying to save tire as long as he can. We got a pretty long green flag run here with 24 laps to go. Brian Torsha in the 8th position. He started 14th, the number 2 machine looking strong out there this afternoon. Clayton Jones, the 37, about to lose a spot here to Dale Legan. Right now, Clayton Jones running in the 9th position, now 10th. Still 13 positions better from where he started. Speaking of who's taking over the 9th spot, looks like the 05 of Dale Legan, that Miller American paint scheme. I think that's a Bobby Allison paint job. Stand corrected. If someone would let me know, I'd appreciate it, but I'm pretty sure I'm on the ball there. And Mike LaJoy also moved up now into the 10th spot. Mike running that old Jeff Gordon paint scheme, the Pepsi Star Wars DuPont colors. Talked about Clayton Jones already. We'll move on. Mellow Yellow, the number 52, Ronaldo McKinnon out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. He's got Marvin the Martian there. Love to see that. It's the either the Kyle Petty or the Days of Thunder paint schemes, whichever one you want to go with. Either way, it's sharp. It looks great. Running 12th right now on the lead lap. Brian Rupert, of course, familiar paint scheme. Everybody knows this one. The number 3 Good Wrench Service Plus Tasmanian Devil livery. Dale Earnhardt ran back in the 90s. Very cool to see. Brian Rupert running in the 13th position. Bobby Milburn in the 14th spot. We've got pit stops underway here, so we will pull away from that. Mark Thomas in the pit lane up front. Mark Jackson still out in front, has not pit. Well, I say that, but now it looks like he is. Live timing's kind of going crazy. We'll follow up with it in a minute. Looks like 4 tires and fuel, though, for Mark Thomas. He is down and away. Mark Jackson, though, has gone on by to put Mark Thomas down a lap. Of course, Jackson has not pit yet. He will need to do so before the race is over. We've got 20 laps to go. Again, those fresh tires that these guys are taking on right now going to make a world of difference in lap time. So the 22 is not going to want to stay out for too long before hitting the pit lane, getting pit service here with less than 20 laps to go. Ooh, Piles, second place running machine in the wall off turn number 2. He has yet to pit either. Old tires on that 68, it might be time. Mark Thomas, meanwhile, still out front. Sorry, Mark Jackson. Taking another trip around Atlanta Motor Speedway. He's going to put it with 18 laps to go. Still has not seen pit lane. Just waiting for the 22 of Mark Jackson to peel off the banking, hit the pit lane. Tires and fuel, I'm sure, on the docket for the 22, but will it be 2 tires and fuel, or will he go with all 4 like everyone else? See Ronald Piles, the 68, in pit lane as well. Jackson works off turn number 2 down the backstretch to put Brian Rupert the 3 a lap down. Here he comes, Mark Jackson off the turn number 4 banking into the pit lane for his first and final stop of the afternoon. Jackson comes to a stop in his pit stall. Right side's going in the air. Sunoco Racing fuel going in. Jack is dropped on the right side. Crew going around to the left. Left side's going in the air. 4 tires and fuel for the 22. He's down and away. A good stop for Mark Jackson. 15 flat. Meanwhile, leader Vincent Short goes by. He lost a full lap in that exchange. Vincent Short pit last, lap 12, so not sure the full fuel run with these cars. He may have enough to the end with the yellows that we've had. He's got Billy Milner now in the 2nd position. Again, Billy involved in that early race incident, but he's way back. We're talking 9 seconds behind the leader, Vincent Short. Milner in the number 55. Double zero of Dustin Painter looking to the inside of Vincent Short. Painter a lap down, just trying to unlap himself. Probably going to do that relatively with ease as he does have fresher tires on that machine. Hit about 6 laps ago. See Mark Jackson, the 22, making his run now. Fresh tires to go around the leader, Vincent Short. Again, can they make up a full laps deficit to catch the 15 if Vincent Short stays out? If he even can make it the rest of the way, I really don't know if he's got enough Tiger in the tank to do that. But Vince Short currently the leader, off cycle with the rest of the field. The former leaders, so to speak, just getting their laps back, but fresh rubber on them, good to go to the finish without a yellow. I don't know if there's enough time left for them to really make a charge and come back around past Vincent Short. Vincent's running 33.9 second lap times right now. Milner at 34, Woodrum at 35. These guys have all pit last around lap 12, lap 13 in that range. Fastest right now is Mark Thomas. He's in the top 5 in the 5th spot. He pit lap 39. So if anybody can catch Vincent Short, it could be the 50 of Mark Thomas. And Mark Thomas, see how far back he is from the lead, 22 seconds, almost a full lap, maybe 2/3 of a lap behind our leader, Vincent Short. Short works his way off turn number 4. We got Mike Taschereau just taking his lap back on the inside. See it at the line here. There is Vincent Short, the leader. We'll wait on the 8 now of Pete Woodrum. Pete is in the 2nd spot. And there he goes. It's actually the 55. I don't know what happened there. That was interesting. Oh, 3 wide off the corner. 2 lap cars getting their spots back around leader Vincent Short. Brazen moves by the 68 and the 41. Again, Vincent Short on old rubber, just trying to survive here. 2 full seconds off the fastest lap. Got 9 laps to go, coming to 8 laps to go for Vincent Short. Mark Thomas now up to the 2nd spot already. He's got 8 laps to break down a 19-second gap. Again, that's provided Vincent Short does stay out. Hit on lap 12, that'd be 48 laps. Granted, we did have a couple of cautions mixed in there. Not sure if the 15's got enough fuel or not. Guys, I apologize. The live timing is acting a little odd. It's not able to really keep track. First I see Mark Thomas was 2nd. Now it's Billy Milner, and they're not even close to each other. And Mark Thomas on fresher tires compared to these guys. Still showing about 17.5 seconds back from Vincent Short. Mark Thomas does have the freshest tires amongst our top 4 drivers. Really amongst our top 5. Mark Jackson in 5th spot. He pit lap 44. Vincent Short's going to hit the pit lane, though. Here he comes. Couldn't go any further with almost 6 laps to go. Vincent Short on the pit lane. Vincent Short out of Cayuga, Indiana. Overshoots the pit box. That's unfortunate for the 15. Took 4 tires and fuel as well for Vincent Short. Back out front, though, 50 of Mark Thomas has retaken the race lead. Coming to 5 laps to go for Mark Thomas. Mark Jackson, the second spot, does have a little bit better tires on that machine, but he's got about 2 seconds to make up. You see Mark Thomas just leaving the frame. Thomas is your leader. We'll take a look at it here at the line. Got Mark Thomas crosses the line here, and we have the other Mark Jackson crosses the line there with Dustin Painter in third. There he goes. And everything changes with a caution. Got 4 laps to go. The yellow has just come out. I think it might have been Jamie Kerr with an issue. Take a look. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if Jamie lost his internet connection, because that's kind of how it's behaving on my end. If you don't have that connection, you'll kind of disappear, and it's not locking on. Let's see if he pops away here. It looks like we just lost Jamie. Maybe some pretty severe connection issues. All of a sudden he popped back and caused himself to wreck out on the racetrack here. We got 3 laps to go. We have overtime in the works here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Mark Thomas, your leader. Mark Jackson, second. This is just what the doctor ordered for the 22. Again, 5-lap fresher tires on the 22 of Mark Jackson. Doesn't sound like a whole lot, but a place like Atlanta Motor Speedway, that is a ton. And here he comes. Mark Thomas hits the pit lane. He's going to get fresh tires. I don't think this is going to be the call to make, though. Tough break here. He hits the pit lane. Dustin Painter goes with him. Majority of the field stays out on the racetrack. Mark Thomas opting for fresh tires on this green-white checkered. Still got 16 cars on the lead lap, though, with only 3 or 4 of them opting for pit lane and tires. We'll see how quickly the 50 can work his way back through the field. I don't know if he's going to have the time. So now your top 5. Mark Jackson, Dan Murphy Jr., Mike Taschereau, Brian Torsha, and Ronald Piles, the 68. That is your top 5. Vincent Short, though, kind of lucked out. He has the newest tires on track for the most part. Looks like we've got a couple guys that pit this time, obviously. 4 laps fresher, but Vincent Short in the 6th position, pit lap 54. That's 10 laps at a minimum better than anybody else ahead of him. Guys in behind him, lap 40, lap 40. The closest guy with the fresher tires that he just put on a set of stickers is Mark Thomas in the 8th spot. So keep an eye on Vincent Short and Mark Thomas. They're going to restart right near each other here when we go back to green. Watch both of them work their way towards the front. Always seems to happen in this OG Racing League. We get a guy who's walking away and thinks it's going to be his, and then we get a caution late. Here we are with another green-white checkered finish. No shortage of excitement in these races by any means. Just when you think it's going to be a snoozer, nope. They all prove you wrong.